I did a reacts video on a Ohio police officer. So state troopers pulled this dude over who he's missing a mud flap on a semi-truck.
On a cement truck?
A semi-truck.
Oh, semi-truck, yeah.
So they go to pull him over, and the dude runs. Nobody knows why he runs. He's a young dude, I think 23 years old. They finally pull him over. Some of the theories are he didn't know that he was being pulled over. I mean, you're driving a semi-truck, you're on your cell phone, you might not know state troopers are behind you, right? He eventually pulls over. No prior arrest history or record. Was legitimately transporting goods as a truck driver. Gets pulled out of the truck at gunpoint by state troopers. Appropriate because he seemingly ran from police. He gets pulled out of the vehicle. He's on his hands and knees with his hands raised. And one of the state troopers' body cam footage is saying, this cop is saying, the state trooper is saying, don't let the dog loose. Don't let the dog loose. Because there's two police officers who pulled over from a city police, and this is a state trooper event. Right. They're on highway, and one of them has a dog, a Malinois. And he releases the Mal on the dude who's on his knees with his hands raised. And the Mal mauls the dude, rips his arm apart, thrashes him, and the state troopers are like pissed. They're like, get him off the guy. They're yelling at him. There's this big conflict, whatever. I do reacts to this. During the video, I say, guys, like, number one, I'm not an expert in mouse, but I'm likely the closest thing besides the actual guy who trains a dog. Why? I work with Malinois my whole career.
Right.
I've actually worked tier 1 dogs in combat when we had a handler that had to go back for a family emergency. I worked his dog while he was gone. That winded up getting killed on target. I had a unit dog, an SMU dog, save my life in combat. Bit a suicide bomber 15 yards in front of me and saved me and a kid named Rob, a man named Rob. We would have stepped on this dude and he would have clacked off and killed us. That happened. So I'm at least somewhat knowledgeable of what Maos do. So I said, one, the cop was screwed up. He should have never did that. And I said it vocally. I don't care. Like I did a video, or I did Rogan's podcast, and we're talking about SEAL Team 6 operators and how SEAL Team 6 operators, when they get out of the military, they want to find in their transition something that feels like how they felt on the teams, except they go and they become a cop. And I said, almost verbatim, I said, they're in the varsity, and then they get back, and they're not even in varsity, meaning it's like a different game.
It's a totally different game.
It's a totally different game.
Yeah.
So I'm not comparing apples and apples. It's apples and oranges.
Right.
And so I'm saying, as a SEAL Team 6 operator, which you go out every night in combat when you're downrange and you kill bad guys, when you come off of that and you transition to a police officer, not even a SWAT guy, I use the patrol officer is what I said. Sure. You're writing tickets. And Joe said, you're writing tickets. Well, that was cut, and everybody's like, I had cops literally DMing me saying, F you, Mike. We're not junior varsity. We're not JV. I was like, okay, that's not what I said. but okay. And then my question was to these guys who were emotional. These men were so, I had a dude who was like, mother F, and I hate you. I used to respect you. How could you call us JV? And I said, oh, let me ask you one question, because you're very emotional. I get it. I'll explain if you want me to, but let me ask you one question. Do you think you're a SEAL Team 6 operator? Do you think the equivalent of what you do is being a SEAL Team 6 operator? That's a simple question.
Simple.
Because even the most elite, I would say LAPD's SWAT team, full-time SWAT team, is elite. They get a lot of calls. They do a lot of hits. They actually kill a lot of guys. Mm-hmm. That is still not even close to what SEAL Team 6 does and the unit does as Special Missions Unit downrange in combat. So I was making the correlation there. People get emotional. I had a cop reach out to me and say, Mike, you should know better. Like, one, he put me on blast on social media, which I always love. But people hit me up and like, do you see this? And I'm like, what is it? And this dude's like, you should know better. You know dogs are not used as deadly force. And I'm like, what are you talking about?